Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to today's Words of Wisdom. Today's is from January 23rd, and I quote, "All the events that occur in this world serve as lessons for you and provide you with spiritual nourishment from the starting point of happiness." Thank you, Master. All right, today's is from this Kyoten, Starting Point of Happiness. And in chapter 7, there's 8 chapters, but chapter 7 of this book is called Living a Positive Life. And in this chapter, there's a section called Invincible Thinking. Now, invincible thinking is a term that I'm sure every Happy Science member knows and have heard it many, many times because Master Okawa refers to it many times as one of the basic principles that you should adopt when living life here on Earth. It's a very powerful philosophy which is rooted in a spiritual value. So, spiritual value meaning the purpose of living here on earth is for soul training and to refine and gain new wisdom. And we go through this cycle of reincarnation, and every lifetime is like as if you're studying abroad and you are going to school to learn something. So that's what I mean by a spiritual perspective, and it's founded on that spiritual perspective, and also it's founded on this principle where we think that God created this whole universe. The Almighty Being, the primordial Buddha, made the whole universe, and if such an Almighty Being created this universe, there can be no such thing as true suffering. Everything has a meaning. There's always a divine meaning behind all the things that occur in this universe. So it's based on these two principles, reincarnation, and there is nothing in waste in a world which God created. With that said, I'd like to quote the part where today's Words of Wisdom is coming from. It's page 176 in this Kyoten. "All the events that occur in this world serve as lessons and nourishment for our soul. With this point of view, we'll be able to find our invincible self that never feels discouraged or lost. I call this way of thinking invincible thinking. With this attitude, you can always win. You are a winner in every situation. I hope you have this way of thinking, an attitude that always seeks the lessons in your life and in your real life drama." End quote. So as you can see, what does this mean? If you apply this sentence into your life, if you accept it, and if you live by this principle, what happens is that every situation you go through provides you with a lesson. So you're always actually winning because you're always growing and you're always learning from your lessons. You're always developing. You're actually always moving forward from a spiritual perspective, from the reality perspective, from a human character building perspective. You're always proceeding forward. I like how Dr. Peel once said that there is no such thing as defeat until you accept it. So there is no defeat. You're always in the learning process. You're always moving forward. You're always turning into a new you. And literally, it just depends on how you perceive that situation. If you can adopt this mindset, how should I say this? Life becomes much easier. And not only that, you'll become a stronger person, being able to take on more responsibilities, because every human being has a capacity limit, right? And when you reach your capacity limit, that's the end of it. That's the end of the road. You can't go higher, you can't grow more, or you won't be able to carry on with that job, with that heavy responsibility. That is your limit. But if you have this mindset, even when you reach that limit, because of this perspective, you can grow that capacity, which means in the near future, you will be able to take on that task. But let's say that you have a mentality, a defeatist mentality, a mentality of always complaining or making excuses, What happens is that, yeah, sure, by making an excuse of how you failed, it may temporarily feel good that you were able to justify yourself that you weren't able to do something that was expected out of you. But that's just like a temporary cure. Because if you have that mentality, your capacity will not grow. However, your soul's craving is that you want to be able to take on that task, right? That's why you suffered for not being able to do it in the first place. Hence, it's important to adopt this invincible thinking. This is an almighty formula that you should apply into you should program it into your mindset. By doing so, your capacity will grow little by little, but surely. So, of course, we're human beings. We will suffer in times. In those times, it's okay to grieve and it's okay to cry, but don't stick to that feeling of suffering forever. You have to get out of it with time. And this applying this principle will help you do that. Let me end today's video by reciting today's words of wisdom. All the events that occur in this world serve as lessons for you and provide you with spiritual nourishment from the starting point of happiness. Thank you, everyone. See you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.